Be proactive. Much of what we've talked about so far is about not being passive. It takes work to protect your kid because it takes work to communicate. It takes work to have a great relationship with your spouse. And it takes work to try and come up with solutions. Each of us have our own problems in raising our kids. The question I want to ask you in this lesson is, do you seek out solutions? Or are you passive and do you let others seek to solve problems? I want to introduce to you Dad Ben Leibovich with JustAskBenWhy.com. He's going to share about a problem he's dealt with.
My son, Aaron, was diagnosed on autism spectrum about 3 years ago. Have I learned something? Yes. My wife carries most of the load in the household when it comes to researching what to do, what not to do, how to eat, what not to eat. But my son, Aaron, has been a patient of what is called the DAN doctor, Doctors Against Autism, DAN doctor for short. They're MDs, full MDs, that have, quote unquote, seen the light and believe that autism is a treatable set of conditions. And I think that the thing that I learned the most is that you have to do your own research when it comes to your health. You have to be a consumer of your own health and that of your family. You can't trust anybody. You have to verify everything, and you have to look for solutions in places where maybe most people don't. Aaron is doing very well. I think for the most part he's off of the autism spectrum. He does have a few idiosyncrasies behaviorally wise, but for the most part he is, a fully functional human being. He's got sense of humor. He's got developing communicative skills. I mean, the fact that he's doing mathematics at the age of, he just turned 6, he and his sister, the fact that he's doing mathematics at 3rd or 4th grade level, and the fact that he can basically read anything you put in front of him, that's a foregone conclusion. I mean, we just quit paying attention to that as anything special. He's just academically way out there. Okay. The difficulty has been, relative to finding a way to fit into society. And he had a girlfriend at the end of the school year. And I personally saw at the graduation this 6-year-old boy come to the 6-year-old girl and give her a hug and give her a kiss, and she was blushing and all that. So he's definitely developing understanding, sensory perception of what it is to have relationships. And that was the big struggle. So are we out of the war? No, I wouldn't say that. We still have much work to do, but we've certainly won a few substantive battles. He's certainly a lot better off than if we'd listened to traditional advice and traditional perspective on what autism is and isn't. And the one thing, my wife has a website she started, and it is called thedamageundone.com. And it's all about Aaron's journey, and it's all about what she has learned about autism, causes, treatments. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and this is all coming from personal experience. The one big thing I think I recommend to everybody with any kind of autoimmune conditions is Google something called GAPS diet, GAPS. It is a protocol developed by Natasha McBride, who lives in Great Britain. And she's actually a researcher. I'm not sure if she's an MD. I think she might be an MD. But this is somebody who had her own child be on autism spectrum and looked for answers being within the medical establishment, looked for answers, couldn't find them, started looking on the outside of the establishment, and arrived at some very interesting conclusions. And that GAPS diet and the principles outlined in the GAPS diet have served as the foundation behind everything that has led to success with us. So I highly recommend anybody with either a child with any type of autoimmune or immune condition, allergies, part and parcel with that, look up GAPS diet. It'll give you a really good starting point for your thought process. This was a kid that 9-12 months ago didn't even talk, and now at times I'm catching myself going like, this is typical, both behaviorally and communicatively and everything else. Yeah, sure, he's got his moments, but a lot of the time it's just typical, which is kind of cool. The entire premise is based around the gut, right? The gut is how we receive nutrients. If the gut is not working like it's supposed to, then we're not deriving nutrients out of what we're putting in. Human body is an incredible thing. Its whole aim and function in existence is to heal itself. All we got to do is get the hell out of the way and try to somehow help it. But before we can help it, we have to understand what's involved. And that's where I think this GAPS diet, it's a book. You can get it anywhere.
All right, to summarize, look for answers. Answers are out there, but we have to find them. Ben had to look for the GAPS diet that would help his son. Maybe your problems aren't medical, but what kind of problems do you have, and what kind of solutions do you need to start seeking? Don't be passive, because protecting your kid is active.